Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice and to My Choice Tuesday. We recently conducted a poll on our YouTube community page asking you which Dio song I should react to and analyze next. And the majority of you responded Holy Diver. So that's what we're going to react to next week. For My Choice today, I wanted to do another Dio song. A bunch of you told me in the comments that Gates of Babylon really showcases Dio's vocal range and ability. So I really wanted to hear that one as well. And it is my choice to do an extra Dio song this month. So I'm really excited. This is my first time discovering Dio, and we're doing it all on the channel with you. He's so very amazing. Really cool tidbit about this song. It was recorded in this castle chateau where the composer Chopin lived at one point. So I'm excited to see that in the environment and ambience. And of course, I'm just really excited to hear more Dio. Let's get to it. It was like the backwards Jaws theme. Before the song sounds like it gets going, in this intro, there's so many really cool things that are happening. First of all, it sounds like it's a backwards Jaws theme. And what I mean by that is the initial note to the next note is a half step down. So it's a chromatic step down. Jaws, it's like the bottom. That's the sound of like the shark preparing to attack, right? Very infamous theme. And it's a half step up. So it's so fun to hear the reverse here. A half step in general is just considered creepy, and especially the way that it's extended here makes it even creepier. That's it feels very spooky, almost mystical, partly because of that synthesizer choice, I think. In addition, there's a lot of fun pitch bends that are happening where it's sliding between a few different notes, and that's very interesting. And then at the very end there, it got into this like wobble in which the synthesizer essentially was mimicking vibrato, essentially. It was really cool. I'll go back and we can listen to that again. There was one other thing. The timing. I love that this timing is so freeform. Today on the radio, most of the time you hear things that are put to a click track. So it's very much called on the grid. It's a strict tempo that keeps going the entire song. It's really easy to dance to for that reason too. And that helps with pulling together a lot of the post-production. But in the ancient times or in the past times, we tended to have a little more fluidity with that tempo. And there's definitely a lot of fluidity here, which I feel like it helps with the ebb and flow, and it builds it up, making it feel like something epic is about to happen. Let's go back a little bit and listen for those things. It's a good groove.
Look away from the sea. I can take you anywhere. Spend a vision with me. A chase with the wind. Move closer to me. I can make you anyone. I think you're ready to see the gates of Babylon.
It's so good to hear his voice. He's got such a huge range available to him, and that very first line was amazing in the way it went up. It went up higher than I expected a first line to go. And it was so well executed too. He's got available low notes and high notes, and he's got available all kinds of different timbres. He's able to add a little bit of harsh vocals in there or keep it super clean. And there's also all kinds of expression, but it's all about his execution of all of these things. It's like the vocal folds are just unfettered. Anything that he wants to express, he can do. I feel like his imagination is a limit, and he has a huge imagination, not to mention his words and his diction are so beautifully clear. Let's go back. I want to hear where he started again. Here-ish? Yeah? Okay.
Look away from the sea. I can take you anywhere. Spend a vision with me. A chase with the wind. Move closer to me.
Oh my goodness.
I can make you anyone. I think you're ready to see the gates of Babylon.
He's doing something very interesting in here where he's sliding off the ends of a lot of the notes. Makes it feel enticing for sure. And you can even see in his fingers, I think he's meaning to draw a person in with this first, these first verses, maybe? I don't know the song. This might be the verses, not sure. So I like the way that it's drawing in, but listen to the slides. They are very precise. They're minimal, precise slides at the end here. That's cool. Dio.
Take you anywhere.
Right there.
Spend a vision with me.
There
A
again.
chase with the wind.
Again.
Move closer to me.
And again.
I can make you anyone. I think you're ready to see the gates of Babylon.
So Babylon is the only one that he didn't do that little slide off of. He did do a little shadow vowel though. So you heard like Babylon at the end essentially. This is brilliant, but I have to keep going.
The power of what has been before rises to trap you within. A magic coming right a teeny maybe more. City of heavenly sin. Sleep with the devil and then you must pray. Sleep with the devil and then you must pray. Sleep with the devil will take you away.
Going back. Okay. And sleep with the devil and what are the words there? And then you must pay, I think are the words. So on pay, when he's elongating that, he's adding a little fry to the sound. So a little kind of, but on a higher note. And it almost sounds like that fry is exactly an octave below. I'm hearing an octave in there somewhere. It might be an octave that is the first overtone as well. It's mind-blowing to me. It sounds like he's got like very precise control of how exactly that fry is sounding. Let's go back.
Of heavenly sin. Sleep with the devil and then you must pray.
He even does this little thing with his fingers. I wonder if that's like to keep the breath flowing. Sometimes if you do things with your hands, of course it helps you be more expressive, but also just motions like this or using little fingers in like a fluttery motion, I've seen that help a lot of students just keep the airflow active. It's interesting to see that here. Now, this fry moment is mind-boggling. I don't understand how he does it so well. It's brilliant. I love it. I have to say it's probably one of the best combination of a harsh, clean vocal all in one that I've heard. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And even the moment right before is really cool because they suddenly go into triplets. So instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is the feeling. The feeling of 3 switches it up. and has like often a feeling of movement in it. 4 tends to feel a little more square, sometimes even marchy, and 3 has more of a cyclical feeling in music. So really, really cool to hear that shift, and then right away your ears are enlightened, or enlivened, I should say. And then he goes into this note on pay. That is fantastic. I'm going to pull it back just a little bit. This might be
Rises to trap you within. A magic coming right a teeny baby more. City of heavenly sin. Sleep with the
There's the
devil
3.
and then you must pray.
Even has light vibrato. It's
Sleep
amazing.
with the devil will take you away. Okay, so bad.
On away there, way, A is a diphthong, meaning that it's essentially 2 vowels that are combined into like 1 vowel slot. So way, Dio really clearly goes through both vowels, very clearly articulates them, and then he's like, nah, I could still use more vowels, and so he finishes the riff out on O, so essentially adds 2 more, O and oo. Listen to that again, that's awesome.
The devil will take you away. Okay, so Babylon.
Love that ornamentation there.
You can see, but you're blind. Someone turn the sun around. But you can see in your mind the gates of Babylon. The power of what has been before.
I am loving the camera angle on his mouth. Like how he uses his mouth and his face resonance, how he uses his singing hole, it's ideal. You see tons of movement in the lips. You see a lot more openness in the mouth. It almost even feels like he'll move cheek muscles to get a bit of extra resonance or expression. And I love, again, that use of hands, just giving a little more expression. It's like he is really trying to project that imagination and storytelling. I love it.
Rises to trap you within. Magic coming right a genie maybe more. City of heavenly sin. Sleep with the devil and then you must pray. Sleep with the devil will take you away.
Oh, really interesting that he didn't do the way yo whoa thing that he did the first time this time. And Pei that time had a different kind of harshness to it. It didn't have that sustained fry below. But this one sounded like it was shredding. It was like a little more vocal shredding. I don't think he's damaging himself in any way. I think he knows how to do that without hurting the vocal folds. It really just keeps everything open. Really amazing, amazing. I realized that I'm not keeping up with the lyrics terribly well. I'm just using them to know what vowels he's singing, and I'm going to come back in a little bit and look at these lyrics and do a little bit of analysis on the words. I love the sliding in that. So compositionally here, you essentially have, I think it's a bass line that is playing an ostinato, meaning that you have a melody or a note or a figure, a melodic figure, if you will, that's repeating over and over and over. That's an ostinato. Sometimes it'll sit underneath the music while other things happen on top, which is what's happening here. So you hear this, it was that original groove that we felt at the beginning. It's still going, and then we have this amazing guitar solo on top. It's really cool. I like that it's feeling like, in some ways, the song has evolved, but in some ways, the song is continuing down that same track that it originally started. is moving while he's doing this guitar solo. It's like he's trying to get the guitar to sing. You see him go like, wow, or like doing various mouth noises, it looks like. And then the guitar sounds like it's mimicking that, or it's definitely going in time with the different notes he's playing. That's awesome. There we go. Whoa, I wonder what's going on in his head. That's cool. That's such an epic guitar solo. I don't play guitar. Other than I do have a guitar. It's very detuned so that I can make it sound like horror music. But you would never want to play the guitar. And this is amazing. I think that the angle of the camera is also super awesome here. You know, you have it looking up at him, but that cameraman is like, just don't step on me, please, man. But he's probably got a little bit of spit happening because I think this is Richie. He's definitely got some mouth movement accompanying whatever's happening on the guitar. And also just wanted to point out the lighting in this area. It's beautiful. I love the different colors. Of course, this is the band Rainbow. And I like that they've lit up the stage with so many different kinds of gels. It's beautiful. And it feels like a great place to cut a record.
To me, I can make you anyone. I think you're ready to see the gates of Babylon.
I love the feeling behind Gates. When he got up there, just like, it makes my body shiver. It's brilliant. Words. Let's talk about lyrics. Look away from the sea. I can take you anywhere. These are the same lyrics that we had at the beginning of the song. So I think this is essentially the first verse. And spend a vision with me, a chase with the wind. I feel like Dio is some sort of all-encompassing power, right? Babylon was one of the most populated cities in around 1700 BC. And if he says at the end, move closer to me, I can make you anyone. I think you're ready to see the gates of Babylon. That would be a symbol to me of a ton of wealth, of like the center of culture at the time. And I even think about like the various fantastic things that he describes, like, if you come with me, I can do this. It almost feels like he's enticing you, like Satan or something. Is saying like do this, like a Garden of Eve enticement sort of situation. I'm not really sure. But we'll keep listening to those lyrics a little bit more.
The power of what has been before rises to trap you within.
Okay, I just wanted to say, I love the way he sings really long lines sometimes. He's got brilliant lines. And then, I've mentioned this before, he will, in the middle of his phrasing, he'll give it a little boost all of a sudden. He'll cut the line, or he'll do it at the end where he'll have lines that slide off and then one that suddenly stops. So in this case, it's trap. He, instead of singing trap, which would be continuing that long legato line, he sings trap. And he goes to the P of that. He doesn't use a ton of P. He just makes it a short vowel, essentially, and uses that to break up the line and make that word pop out more. It's very, very expressive. I love I love the way that he plays with phrasing, with making it staccato or legato, so short and brief staccato, or long and more smooth would be legato. Let's go back and listen to that one more time.
The power of what has been before rises to trap me within.
Okay, and on top of that, any person that's played an instrument before knows that if you're going to have like a little staccato in the middle of a line, you have to still keep it within that line and keep going in that tempo as well. And he's able to sort of just give like a little sprinkle and then keep moving. So it feels like it's contained, but it brings that word out in a brilliant way.
The power of what has been before rises to trap me within.
I love it.
A magic coming right and genie maybe more. City of heavenly sin. Sleep with the devil and then you must pay. Sleep with the devil will take you away.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so we had 3 different ways that he sang away, and this one he does a little break off of it, which is fun. That's I think I mentioned this recently in another video. That's just like a sound of desperation, often when you break the voice right after or at the end of a held note. This is really cool. I know that this is all live one take, because a lot of times when you have a chorus that repeats, which I think is what this section is, in more modern production, we'll just take the good time, like the good time we got it. You got it once, that was great. Okay, copy and paste it. You did the chorus 3 times, copy and paste it 3 times. Each time he's sung it, it's been a little bit different. And every single time it has been intriguing. It's just delightful. It's like I really think that his imagination is the only possible limit that he can have. His voice is amazing. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Listen to the small break on Away.
Sleep with the devil will take you away.
Oh, and yeah, we're definitely talking about devil and Satan. Sleep with the devil and then you must pay. Sleep with the devil and the devil will take you away. So I think I believe that first verse that came back again, that seems to be the devil enticing, right? I think that that's what's going on in the lyrics. Hey, this might have another interpretation. And you might know exactly what kind of interpretation you think this should be. And if you have some strong feelings on this, I really encourage you to post that below. I love reading about people's interpretations of different kinds of songs. It's very much welcome and encouraged on our channel. So if you have thoughts, fire away in those comments. So this ornamentation here, it sounds very like Middle Eastern, which makes sense. That's where Babylon is.
The devil is me, and I'm holding the key to the gates of sweet hell forever.
So I would have expected this to resolve down, and instead it's resolving up, meaning that I would expect his voice to land on the low, like root note, and instead he's going up, which sounds really fun. It sounds more like a expansion release to the gates of sweet hell, Babylon. Oh, interesting. So maybe Babylon in this case is hell, and the devil is like all of the temptations within it. And you also heard that ritardando, that slowing down in the tempo at the end that made it feel more complete, more finished at the end. Again, you would not hear that kind of thing, 99.9% of the time on a top 40 song. That we just don't slow the songs down and speed them up as much as we used to. It does happen sometimes, but usually it's like a sudden switch from this tempo to this tempo. And there's not much of that in between because it's really difficult and finicky in production. So this is really cool to hear at the end, this feeling of completeness. I like that run.
The devil is me, and I'm holding the key to the gates of sweet hell forever.
Oh, love the mic technique there. So, that's cool. That sounds like a violin as well. When he's using the mic, he's actually going back and away with his head to do this sort of fade out. But instead of, the mic's on a stand, so normally a person would take the mic and just bring it away from them. I think it's very interesting that he's doing that with it on the stand. And it would change the sound also in the way that would be directed as the head goes up. Whew. I cannot get enough Dio. He's incredible. His expression is incredible. That moment, that one note that had the fry that sounded like he was controlling the pitch of the fry at the same time, and the overtones that were bleeding from it were just really amazing. The range is incredible, but it's his execution, his expression, the way that he's using his hands, every single part of his being to express this fantastic story, right? It sounds dangerous, it sounds enticing, and I just can't get enough of all of the little tiny technical things that he does to add to that. I don't think he's thinking like, oh, I should add a slide here to add some more expression. I think it is much more instinctual. He's just learned essentially how to combine that super solid vocal technique with feeling and mind and spirit. And it's just all encompassed into this one amazing performance. He's truly, for me, I think one of the best vocalists. Just astonishing. So I can't wait to do another reaction and analysis next week of Holy Diver. Stay tuned for that. And if you guys would like to recommend more videos, just put that in the comments down below this one. We will be checking them. We track all of your comments, just so you know. Thank you again for your votes in that poll. It was so cool to see and hear exactly what you wanted, and to hear these comments about Gates of Babylon as well. I'm so glad that I got to hear it. So looking forward to much more, and I hope to see you on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m. Arizona time. That's when we do live premieres here on this channel. And if you want to know more about singing or music in general, you can find that at thecharismaticvoice.com.